What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God. Yeah, man, I'm in the pink dungeon right now, giving it to you real raw rugged, and I was like, why not, man? You know, the hurricane's supposed to be hitting. I'm not feeling anything, so let's make a video. And I was like, I had watched a Dave Chappelle stand-up Sticks and Stones, so I was like, why not go ahead and review it? I told myself that I'm going to start reviewing more movies and TV shows. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. Let that be known right now, like, because you're going to forget it by the end of this video. So if you want to see me review, like, TV shows and movies and stuff like that, comment that now, yes or no, because I've been thinking about it. So if you want to see it, let me know that now, because y'all going to forget by the end of this video. So, moving on. Watching the stand-up special. Well, let me go back a little bit. My homeboy Eddie, he told me, hey, bro, you know Dave Chappelle just put out a stand-up. And I was like, what? He was like, you did it yesterday. I was like, bro, I did not see this. So I was like, I'm going to check it out. I didn't end up checking out right away, but what I did do, I kept seeing headlines. And I was like, bro, these headlines are ridiculous. Now, on my phone, I have a couple right now. The Ringer, they said Dave Chappelle provocatives have turned predictable. What else we got? In Sticks and Stones, Dave Chappelle refused to change for critics. I'm like, he has critics? BuzzFeed News, I don't know why anybody would read BuzzFeed News, but Dave Chappelle doesn't need to punch down. Vice, you can definitely skip Dave Chappelle new special. Breitbart, is the fact that Breitbart is like Dave Chappelle stands now are hilarious. Rotten Tomatoes give Dave Chappelle special 0% rating. Now you get where it's just going. Like, people were like panicking. So I'm like, yo, is it that bad? Like, I gotta go see this. So I watch it, and yeah, great. I think this is his best stand-up he's done since he came back, and I've really enjoyed a lot of those stand-ups. I think the camera's falling back, but whatever. So I've enjoyed all of those stand-ups, but this one right here, man, this was just good stuff. I laughed from start to beginning, and I laughed from start to beginning for all the other stand-ups that he did this decade, but man, this one just had me rolling, bro. First of all, he literally came out a little bit more aggressive than usual, because Dave Chappelle is not the most. Oh, this is going to be a little bit of spoilers in here. I'm not going to spoil too much if you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to leave it too spoily. A little bit spoily though. So Dave Chappelle is definitely not the most edgy comedian whatsoever, but definitely his comedy has a little edge to it. Just going back from the Chappelle show. It's a lot of crazy stuff, like disabled jokes in there, race jokes, gay jokes. It's a lot of jokes in that show. So it's not somebody that I'm surprised to be edgy, but he's not one of the comedians where I'm like, oh man, Dave Chappelle dropped a stand up. Sheesh, hi the PC crowd. Like, no, I'm not that. He's not the type of person. But when he came out with the Michael Jackson joke and just basically talking about Michael Jackson raping kids or whatnot, that was very Louis C.K.-esque. And Louis C.K. is definitely one of the people where I'm like, okay, this is one of the more edgier comedians. That was very Louis C.K.-esque. That reminded me of Louis C.K. monologue at SNL when he made a couple of pedophile jokes. And this was very reminiscent to that. So I'm like, oh, man, he's coming out the hip shooting. He coming out the gate just shooting, man. He coming off the meat is just shooting. So I'm like, okay, this is really not his style, but I'm going to keep looking. And even though I found that funny, I think he got better and better and better, man. And I feel like he's such a good writer. Dave he's really good at telling stories. That's from the Chappelle show. A good skit tells a story. And he's telling stories throughout this whole thing. And I feel like the highlight is the probably one you've seen on your timeline. It's the L's, the G's, the B's, the T's. He basically broke down the LGBT community and put them in a car. And he had a joke about queer people. It was really good stuff. And yeah, I don't really want to get too deep into the stand-up because, like I said, it's one of those things that if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but boy, oh boy, that was some funny stuff, bro. Like, that nigga is so good. Like, just the way he yelled certain words, I don't want to say it because I don't want you to see it and be like, oh, Eric spoiled it for me. So I'm going to keep it spoiler free for the most part, man. So what I really want to get into is the backlash that I kind of touched on in the beginning. But if you're wondering, like I said, I really, really enjoyed Sticks and Stones. Now, I went back and really read the articles because at first I was just reading the headlines, but I started reading the articles, and bro, people was getting this nigga out of here. They said that even the way that he said, I don't know who said this, but some chick was like, even the way that he pronounced Jussie Smollett, because he talked about him, even the way he pronounced his name, Juicy Smollett or whatever, just reeks of homophobia. And I'm like, damn, he can't even say the nigga name funny, bro. You say the nigga name funny, you hate gay people. I'm like, that's crazy. So it's a couple questions that I came with to make this video. One being, if you're a gay person, a lesbian person, whatever, if you're in the LGBT community and you watch this, were you offended by this at all? Because I feel like if you're offended by these Dave jokes and if you watch any of my live streams or watch any of my videos, I'm not the most edgiest person, but I can say some pretty, I don't know. I guess it could be classified as edgy things. I don't know. I don't think I'm that edgy, but I say things that are like, you gonna say that, buddy? Sometimes, but usually I don't do that type of stuff. But sometimes, if I'm in that type of bag, hey man, I'm just saying some wild stuff. So I'm curious, like, do you guys get offended by watching Dave Chappelle stand up? Do you get offended by watching what I say? Because the main question that I have is like how PC, how much is too much PC? That's the question that I have. That's what I want to ask you guys. I've talked about this on my channel, so I don't want to go too deep in detail because I have like a lot of videos talking about this. Definitely the last opposition that I did. If you want to go watch that, it's a really good episode. It's the opposition episode 2 somewhere on my channel. But yeah, how much is too much PC? And that's what I want to know. Like, is the world too politically correct? Are we not enough politically correct? I just want to spark some comments in the comment section, and I'll give you my basis on how I feel about it so we can run from somewhere. Basically, I think that in nature, being PC is a good thing because it allows you to learn the tolerance of others, not saying wild things, knowing that certain things aren't okay to say. And I feel like it also makes you or forces you to learn about other cultures and other people. Be like, oh, I say this all the time. I didn't know this was offensive to other people. So in that respect, I think it's good. But I do think it's doing more harm than good. And I'm black saying that. And that, what I just explained, would definitely benefit black people because a lot of people are ignorant to black culture just because we're a minority. A lot of people don't even take time to know about us. It's not like you have classes in school learning about black culture. You know, the teachers that I had an African American history class, it was taught by a Romanian man. Can't make that up. Like, you're just not learning about black culture in school. Maybe around like your black friends and stuff like that, but it's not classes dedicated to black culture. So of course, I would want people to be more tolerant of my culture, things we say, do, or whatever. But on the other hand, I feel like it's going too far to the point where it's lacking logic and thought. I feel like a lot of the PC things lack people, or don't lack, but it doesn't push people to be critical thinkers and use logic sometimes. It's all emotion based, and we're all emotional humans. So it's not like you say, oh, you're too emotional. Like, you're supposed to be emotional. That's like in our nature. But I feel like when that emotion overrides logic, which happens sometimes, but if that happens more than often, that's not good. It's like somebody with a temper tantrum. Like, that nigga emotion is going to override his logic, and we would say we need to fix that. So when people just emotionally react to things right off the bat without critically thinking about it, and like I said, it's not expected for you to use critical thought in every situation you're in because sometimes, emotion overrides you. But if emotion is overriding logic 9 times, 8 times, even 7 times out of 10, that's not a good thing. And I feel like a lot of PC people do that because I see a lot of things on my timeline that evoke, I feel like, just emotion more than thought. And like, did you really think about this? Because you're not using critical thought at all. And that even goes from people who swear they're not PC, people that talk about kneeling or whatnot. They're like, oh, like, you're disrespecting the Marines. Like, but it's like, bro, you're not even putting any critical thought about it. You just seen somebody kneel and you just reacted. You didn't even think, why are they doing this? Like, what is this about? What is this going to change for them? Is it going to bring it? You didn't think about that. You just reacted. So it's not even going for the people that you would think are like libtards or whatever. It goes for the people on the other side as well. But like I said, it does apply for the people on the left because I feel like a lot of those people get offended, you know what I'm saying, really, really quickly. And that's why I asked, are gay people, are lesbian people getting offended by these Dave Chappelle jokes? I'm very interested. So I don't want to talk your head off too much. Kind of want to talk in the comment section. And you guys let me know. I just want to give you a basis of how I felt. Moral of the story is, don't let emotion override logic. And I feel like a lot of PC people are letting that happen and not like thinking like, maybe we should have this discussion even if it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable or emotional. That doesn't apply all the time, but sometimes we need to have a conversation that, makes people feel uncomfortable because, nigga, if we just avoided something, it was like, it was politically correct to call black people like Negroes and niggers and stuff like that. But if somebody didn't step up and be like, nah, that ain't right, and make that uncomfortable conversation happen, then we would have still been getting called niggas and stuff, So we just need to promote conversation, even about the gun laws thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, people get so emotional about the gun things, but it's like, yo, such a like complex situation. Like the gun law situation is so much more complex than people make it seem. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Talk to you guys later. Until next time, I say what I mean when I say haters gonna hate, players gonna play. I let your boy know, man.